Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lucky Dog Truck Series Thursday nights. And we are 100. Yep, I knew I was tired. Got all of my little things all out of order. Oh well, we'll get this taken care of. 100 laps here, from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Is the old configuration of Atlanta, not the pseudo super speedway configuration that we have in real life now. This is the old version that drivers like Kevin Harvick, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt grew to know and love. So hope you guys enjoy this one as much as we do. So let's go ahead and get down our starting lineup before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Starting on the pole is returning Austin Collins. Haven't seen Austin here in a while. Good to see him back here, and up front to his outside we have the 78 of Gary Sapinski. He was feeling a little under the weather there. We got him back this evening, so good to see you back, Gary. Starting in third, we have the 429 of Paul Witt, and to his outside the 777 of Michael Pegg, who I understand was also down with something, but back with us this evening. Good to see him back in competition. In fifth, we have the 4 of Larry Eddy. To his outside, we have the 9 of John Hill. Starting behind them in seventh is the 37 of Doug Lockrow. To his outside, we have the 19 of Ben Gear. Starting ninth, we have the 23 of Mr. Ray Zerkut. And to his outside in 10th, we have the 89 of Randolph Richard. It looks like Ray has opted to start from the pits, I believe. Starting in 11th, we have the 25 of Mark Berry, and in 12th we have the 51 of Mr. Craig Mayer. Starting in 13th, we have the 111 of John Henderson, and in 14th, the 43 of Sandy Curtis. Starting in 15th, we have the 59 of Ralph Blair. 16th, we have the 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. And in 17th, we have the 129 of Kim Krause, who also looks like maybe he's starting from the pits. 18th, we have the number 6 of Brian Pierce. Green flag is out. In 17th, we have the 91 of Joel Guy, and in 18th, we have the 58 of Chris Hogue. As they fire these trucks off into turn one. Excellent start there from the bottom. Looked like Michael Pegg maybe got caught sleeping a little bit. They just took off from him. So he's running back almost in a good spot before Larry Eddy looking low. Gary Sapinski stuck side by side with the 429 of Paul Witt. Paul got an excellent start, really was able to keep himself glued to the rear bumper of Austin there in first. These 3 trucks all just right there. You can throw a blanket over all 3 of them. 7 of Michael Pegg up there on that high line, finding some speed there up against the wall. He's got the 37 of Doug Lockrow currently sniffing at his heels, trying to see if he can find some speed himself. So Doug down there in the 37 is running fairly close to the white line. Michael Pegg sticking it right up there against the wall. What he's doing is he's searching. You get a lot of really good runs off the top side here, but we talk about it every single week. He's looking for that clean airs. Back at the front, the 98 of Austin Collins getting a lot of under fire here from 78 years. Gary able to get around him there on the outside. Just there clears him. Paul Witt trying to get a little bit of a side draft, pull Austin back to it. That high side's got a lot of speed to it, but you really wear your stuff out a lot faster than if you're running the bottom. So I don't think Gary Sapinski got by him. He's got Paul Witt outside. We got Michael Pegg join the fray. I expect Austin Collins is not going to fight these guys too hard. See, he slots in up there behind the 429, trying to stop him a little bit. He's following these guys. You see, they're running the bottom. They know that's where you go to save your tires. And Austin knows you're only on lap 5 as they cross the start-finish line. It's way too early to try and hold on to a position like that. These guys are going to come back to him before too long. And if I remember fuel numbers in these trucks, they don't have enough fuel to make it halfway. They might be able to save and make it to lap 50, lap 51, but if you're like the leader here, Gary Sapinski, you're leading this train you're not really in a position where you can save fuels, and he's more than likely going to be thinking about making this a 2-stop race. If he's able to make it in one, that is a Herculean effort. Especially when you got a rear view mirror full of Paul Witt. Paul giving really good pushes there down the straightaways. You can see how valuable the draft is here. Austin Collins is right with these guys. They're not, I mean, they're working really well together, but they're not able to build that gap. I'll tell you who's really struggling. That 777, Michael Pegg, he's pretty much stuck up top. He can't run down low where he wants. He's getting the runs on Austin Collins going down the straightaways. And so he either has to kill his own momentum or he runs high. Probably he can't run low, too much lower, because then he's looking at the dirty air as Paul Witt ducks out. Looks like he's going for a pass here on Gary Sapinski. Like we were saying, Michael can't run low, because if he runs low, he's going to then fall in the wake of these trucks in front of him, and that's going to really upset the nose of that car. And so he's kind of, it seems like he's stuck up top, because that's the only place he can find that clean air. Gary Sapinski and Paul Witt still side-by-side battling for the lead. Looks like that top side's got a lot of speed to it. Paul Witt able to get that nose out ahead. Gary Sapinski pulls him right back there on corner exit side-by-side. Gary now a nose ahead. Looks like he'll clear him here. Austin Collins looks like he's going to follow that 78 through there on the top. Nope, drops back in line down low. Gary Sapinski operating there in the middle of the track. Allows him to block both runs from the top and runs from the bottom. Keeps a driver like Paul Witt down there stuck against that bottom line. That's exactly where Gary wants him. Paul's going to have a shallow corner exit. He's got a shallow entry and a shallow exit, so that's really going to upset the nose of that car as this goes on. While all four of these guys are racing like this, the 37 of Doug Lockrow, he's just sitting back here kind of biding his time watching. He's seeing exactly what these guys are doing. I want to bring your stuff up now. Go ahead and bring your stuff up now. I don't mind. Behind him, he's got the 25 there of Mark Berry. Mark Berry, Doug Lockrow, they have the two best seats in town. Or just studying the guys ahead of them. See what they're doing, especially when we talk about both of these guys before the end of this race. But from Mark Berry here, you've got a full second back to Craig Mayer in 7th. I think this is where we're really seeing guys really taking it easy, letting the folks ahead of them, just kind of run their stuff out. Craig here, he's got the 89 of John Held with the 89 of Randolph Richard, and all these guys just kind of chilling. I mean, we've talked several times with John here at 89. He's mentioned that saving tires really is the name of the game for him. Making sure that he's got enough of the truck left to really challenge those top three, and the difficulty for him is figuring out when is the right time to go. We've seen several third-place finishes from John. We know he's got the speed, he's got the talent. Because every track is different. Some tracks, you save for a few laps, then you can go all out. Other tracks, it's like, how long do I save? I mean, I've seen people save 3 laps here and win. I've seen people save 20 laps here and win, and that's something you just gotta learn track by track. John's got the mind for it. We see him getting faster and faster towards the end of this race every week. We'll go ahead and we'll hop back here to the 59 of Ralph Blair. He's sort of this bridge between 9th and 11th. He's currently running 7/10 behind Randolph Richard, so he's getting a nice draft pull there in that Hooters machine. He's also giving a really nice pull here to the 43 of Sandy Curtis. Sandy Curtis and John Henderson, both of these guys running together. They have caught Ralph. Ralph definitely looks like he's running a more conservative race than some of the guys ahead of him. These guys caught him pretty quick once they set their mind to it. So we go ahead and we go back to the front. Gary Sapinski still out in front. He's been able to just running that high line, establish where it is that he is here on the track. Here, Michael Pegg was able to follow him through there on the high side. Sort of, with the way these things were running, see Paul Witt diving down here down low. He's got the 98 Austin Collins with him. They're having to run these two separate lines. Paul being able to enter right behind Michael Pegg, slot back up right behind Michael Pegg there on corner exit. And that's pretty much what Paul's going to have to do. Lap over lap, I would say he can't afford to run behind the 777 all night long. As the 98 looks like he's going to go ahead and get to the bottom side of Paul Witt. But we were seeing that top side, it really has a lot of momentum up there. So what I expect after Paul Witt just got stuck down low, got freight trained up top. Austin Collins, that was the hole he was able to find as he bounced off the wall a little bit there, give a little bit of room there to the 98. I mean, there's already plenty of room there. Maybe he thought they were closer than they actually were, as they are stuck side by side. Here comes the 37, Doug Lockrow, following Paul Witt there around the outside. This is not what Austin Collins wants to see. That's going to keep him down low longer than he wants to. Looks like a little bit of a blink there from the 777 of Michael Pegg. Not used to seeing him with any kind of connection issues. He blinked out there for a little bit. Good to see him back. Hopefully that connection has stabilized. Paul Witt has established himself as the third place truck. See Austin Collins, he went for that pass. Got a nose ahead, but then just did not have the momentum there on the bottom. 37 and Doug Lockrow followed Paul Witt through. Doug to fourth, Austin back to fifth. 25 Mark Berry behind him. Just watching how this goes, and I think this is actually the perfect opportunity. We're going to go ahead and take our first ride along of the evening here. We're going to ride for the 25 with Mark Berry. Like I mentioned, looked like he's got the best seat in the house. He goes by the 98. Ooh, contact between the 98 and the 25. We were going to ride along. No contact there. Both of them able to save it, keep it going straight. Just a little bit of a misjudgment there. Let's go back and we'll take a quick look at that. So here they are coming through turn 4. Austin had to get out of the throttle there, almost hit Doug Lockrow. That really gave a bunch of momentum there to the 25. 25, looks like he bounced off the wall. That shot him down the track into the 98. Let's go back and we'll take a look at this from our friend the chopper cam real quick. He came with a full head of steam, giving room to the 98. Just a little, just a little too much. Tapped the wall. That flushed him down the track into the 98. Like we said, both of them keep it going straight. That is always beautiful to see. That has dropped them back. Mark Berry currently sitting 2.2 seconds back from the leader. That's a second back from Doug Lockrow. So he's still getting a little bit of a pull, but not exactly what he'd be looking for. Craig Mayer here really helped him. He's up to 6th position under fire from Austin Collins there on the bottom. Austin able to get down there, slide up. He's able to make that slide job work. As Craig looks like maybe thinking about passing it back. Decides against it. These guys currently racing just a shade over 3 seconds back from the leader. But if these two can run together pretty well, because I've seen, I mean, like I mentioned, it's been a while since we've seen Austin. But Austin and Craig, these are two drivers who do work fairly well together. They can just get linked up. They might be able to track our leaders down. Speaking of, Gary Sapinski out here just about all by himself. 0.8 of a second between himself and second place Michael Pegg. Michael's getting a pull, but not too much. 3/4 behind him. We got the 429 of Paul Witt making that bottom. Doing his best to save those tires. Behind them, they have the 37, Doug Lockrow. He makes a lot of forward progress. Doug here started 7th, currently running 4th, so he's made up quite a bit of track position. Look just to the guy behind him, the 25 of Mark Berry. He was involved in that little bit of scary side movement, but he started 11th. He's up to 5th, so he is our big mover of the evening. He's now having to really make him think. He's going to have to keep an eye on that rearview mirror because that 98 Austin Collins is coming. He is trying to make up for that track position that he lost. It's a fair amount of track position. In a track like Atlanta, with the way these tires fall off, and it can really turn into a one-groove track. That was the last thing Austin Collins needed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try our ride-along. This time I think we're going to ride with the 98 of Austin Collins as he makes his way back through the field. 28 laps into our 100 lap feature this evening. You can hear just how much the handling fall off is for these trucks, how long Austin Collins is out of the throttle going through these corners. And he's back here in some dirty air. I mean, he's following that 37 of Doug Lockrow up here around the top. All these guys are just about rim right. As Doug Lockrow looks, oh, he gets into the wall. That's not good. I mean, these trucks are pretty tanky, but I don't think that's going to do wonders for the handling of that truck in the long run. Definitely going to bring him back towards the 98 of Austin Collins, who, like we mentioned, they are riding the wall the whole way around. But here towards the start of this race, these guys were able to go ahead and they were able to run full throttle the entire way around the top of this track. Just about. Now we're hearing all of that lifting they're having to do. You see Austin Collins, he's varying it up here. He's not running the same line in both corners. He's running the high line, turns 1 and 2. He's ducking down low in turns 3 and 4. Turns 3 and 4 here, that wall comes at you very, very quick. Think about a Charlotte Motor Speedway or a, it always seems, or a Nashville Super Speedway. The track, that turn 4 wall just comes at you so fast on corner exit. But Austin's realized that he's getting a lot of speed down there along the bottom. So he just fires it down in there, turn 3, makes that slide through 3 and 4, and then pops up right in front of Doug Lockrow. Doug's got a little bit more momentum, but that 98 truck had just the more exit he needed. He's figured out that's where the speed is. So go ahead and we jump ahead to the battle for second place. Michael Pegg coming under fire here from the 429 of Paul Witt. These guys running side by side. Michael Pegg coming down pit road. Lap 31 coming to lap 32. So I was correct. These guys are not going to be able to make it on just one stop. Michael Pegg will be our first car down pit road. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see what this does. Gary Sapinski looked like maybe he had a little bit of a brush with the wall there. But Gary here, he's going to be, I don't think he's going to pit. We see out of Gary, he'll see the folks behind him pit. He'll hit, he'll come down pit road. He'll hit his box probably, we've seen 3 up to 10 laps after the guys coming down pit road. So he's going to be able to take advantage of having fresher tires for longer. We go see the 429 Paul Witt and the 9 of John Held. Both these guys came down pit road to put 4 tires and fuel on this car. Sorry, on their trucks. That 98 of Austin Collins, 2.5 seconds back, doing what he can to catch Gary Sapinski. He sees Gary hasn't come down pit road yet. He's going to go ahead and he's going to keep it out there just a little bit longer. I mean, he's been reeling Gary Slipinski in lap over lap over lap. He was 3.2 seconds back with the benefit of a drafting partner. Now he's almost 2.5 seconds back. That's not an easy gap to make up. See a little bit of the difference. Gary Slipinski, he's coming down pit road. This should give the lead to the 98 if Austin opts to stay out. He does. 35 laps on these tires. He is definitely fighting a tight truck as he goes around. Looks like the 59 completed his stop. We got the 78, and is that the 37? I do believe that is the 37. Doug Lockrow, he's getting his service. The 6 of Brian Pierce makes his way into his box. Looks like he maybe had a little bit of a brush with the wall there as that run went on. The 98 of Austin Collins, figures he's kept it out long enough. He comes down pit road, and this should give the lead here to believe to the 43. Yes, the 43 of Sandy Curtis, still rim right. He's got trucks on fresh tires, running around him. Michael Pegg just unlapped himself. 429 of Paul Witt coming up fast behind him. Sandy there ducking it towards the bottom, probably thinking about bringing it to pit road before too long. Yep, here he goes down pit road. So Sandy Curtis got his lap led. Comes to get 4 tires and fuel. I believe that's 89 of Randolph Richard that's coming with him. It is indeed. And that gives the lead there to the 4 of Larry Eddy, who I believe is the last car on the track on old tires. His last time he came down pit road was 37 laps ago. You can really see the fall off. See how fast the 9 of John Held just shoots by the 4. He's going to be thinking about pit road here before too long. He should have gotten his lap led. He stays out this time. Maybe hoping for a caution. Not certain, but we have also seen, folks push their pit cycle out further and further and further and come away with top 5, top 3 finishes, wins before. It would surprise me if that is what Larry is doing. In all of this, 777 of Michael Pegg has inherited the 2nd position, but he's got a rear view mirror full of Gary Slipinski. Saw Gary all over the rear bumper going there through turn 1. Michael's able to build a little bit of a gap there going through turns 1 and 2 by running that low line. See how long he's able to keep Gary Slipinski back there as one of the hardest people on the track. Keep behind you. What these two really need to do is start working together, because if they don't, these two will. 429 Paul Witt and the 51 of Craig Bair. These guys about the same tires. I mean, as we saw. Oh, looked like 91 Joel Guy, I believe. Big sideways moment, saves it. Back, take a look at that. Looked like maybe he just got loose. Just asked a little too much out of the truck, got loose, tried to save it, almost lost it again, kept it going in the right direction. Just a little bit out of sorts. He is back up to speed. We go back to our leader here, Michael Pegg. These two currently 18 seconds behind the 4 of Larry Eddy. As we have a caution on the track, trying to looks like the 429 is slow. Ooh. So that is exactly what Larry was looking for. 42 laps he's got on these tires. So he'll be coming down pit road, 4 tires and fuel. He'll have fresher tires than anybody else in the field. Let's go back and let's see what happened. Oh, just arrow loose. Collected what looked like Was that Doug? I do believe it was a 51, Craig Mayers, who it caught. So we go back here and we look. We're going to go ahead and we're going to ride along here with Craig as he saw it all happen. It looked like both the 429 and the 98 got a little loose. Paul Witt slightly overcorrected. Yep. Both the 98 and the 429 got loose there. Austin's close enough, just take a little bit of air off that rear spoiler of Paul Witt, and that's all it takes. And then the wake from Paul getting loose gets the 98 just a little sideways. And then the 51 able to get through. Doesn't look like he has too much damage. Paul currently scored in 10th. Showing 28 seconds back, so I don't believe he's a lap down, but we'll see. It does not appear he's been allowed to pit yet. It did look like he got passed by the 4 before he caught the pace car, so he may be in a position where he has to stay out to take that wave around, but that truck looks like it is done. So the 4 Larietti, ultimately, I think, is the big winner in all of this. Currently scored, I do believe that is in the 4th position. We'll see if that updates. Looks like he's got a fair few people in front of him. 429 and Paul Witt does bring it down pit road. He knows he's got to get that thing fixed. But Larietti was able to put Paul a lap down just after that caution. So I guess our leader will be the 78 here of Gary Sapinski. Looks like the 58 of Chris Hogue has opted to stay out. So he's going to be, I mean, Chris here, he came down, I can find him. Yep, he came down pit road 8 laps ago. So he doesn't need any, he doesn't need fresh tires or anything like that. So what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and get that wave around. Looks like he's got a few trucks with him that are going to be taking that wave around as soon as we get the one to go. So Gary Sapinski here will be your leader. In second, looks like we have the 98 of Austin Collins. In third, the 43 of Sandy Curtis. In fourth, we have the 4 of Larietti. So he is fourth. I mean, he just big winner here. He's got 8 laps fresher tires than Gary Sapinski. That could really come into play with the tire fall off here. Congratulations to Craig Mayer coming out on top with that one. I applaud that. The 51, sorry, Larietti coming out ahead. Sorry, and the 51 of Craig Mayer here is in 5th. No, Larry, if I can get my names right, Larry here keeping it out for that long. That's not an easy thing to do, especially at a track like this. Got exactly what he needed. Pace car leads them through turns 3 and 4. These two had a heck of a duel there at the beginning. Spots inverted, 78 first, 98 second. See if Gary's able to come out ahead with this one. As well, pace car down pit road. Green flag is back in the air. About a dead even start from these guys. Gear's going to have the benefit of being down low. He may be able to pull out ahead. It does look like he's able to clear the 98. 98 drops down into that hole between 78 and the 43. as our top four just about to single file out. Of Larry Eddy's got the 51 of Craig Mayer to his inside. They are 2 by 2 from fourth on back. Something may have happened to him before. Something really upset the momentum that he had going there from the top. 51, Craig Mayer able to get there, get by him. He's trying to follow through down there on the bottom. I'll go ahead and that'll shuffle Larry Eddy back to the 5th position. Running this high lane, looks like he may lose. Oh, Michael Pegg gets a little loose, hit that apron. Stacked up that bottom lane. Good heads up driving from those guys. 9 and John Held, 30. 37, Doug Lockrow, 89. Roger Randolph, all those guys able to avoid any kind of major stack up there. Meanwhile, up here at the front, Gary Sapinski doing whatever he can to keep that 98 behind him. That is not an easy thing to do. Sandy Curtis here, just trying to wait in the wake. Some of these guys made some mistakes. He's got the 51 and Craig Mayer running behind him. But these guys survived their time, taking it easy. Or Larry Eddy's got the 777 and Michael Pegg to his outside. So Michael's going to go ahead and assume that 5th position. See if he's able to make that pass stick. Watch this from the 9 of John Held. Ride around any longer. Let's put that 51 of Craig Mayer there on notice, looking to try and take that 5th position from him. Looks like he was, sorry, 4th position from him. Looked like he was able to get out ahead just briefly there. Not quite. Looks like the 98 has hit pit road. Making a 4-tire stop. 7, Michael Pegg on pit road getting damage repaired. So you go back to our leader here, 78 of Gary Sapinski. looks like, I went ahead and went back on the broadcast to double check. I thought it was odd seeing both those guys coming down pit road. I was taking a sip of water and I missed there out on the left side of the screen, seeing the 777 and the 98. They got tangled up coming off turn 2 a few laps ago. That's why both of them came down pit road. Both of them currently showing a couple laps down. Michael Pegg 2 laps down. Austin Collins 1 lap down. And so 3 of our 4 fastest trucks tonight, Paul Witt, Austin Collins, and Michael Pegg, all 3 of these guys, 1 or more laps down. I'll tell you, Paul Witt, what he is very, perturbed about that. Kind of wish that when that happened, one of those guys would come back up the track, because that would have given him his lap back. So he's currently running in the lucky dog position. Larry Eddy here going for a pass in 78 of Gary Sapinski. That's not something you see every day. Like we mentioned, Larry Eddy here in the 4, he's got fresher tires than Gary does by 8 laps. And all he has to do is take care of them. Just keep his truck under him. These guys are all going to have to come down pit road one more time before the end of this race, with the exception, I do believe, of the 777 and the 98. Both those guys should be able to get at least a lap back under the pit cycle. Larry, Gary, John, Sandy, Craig Mayer, Doug Lockrow, Gary Whitmer Sr., Mark Berry, and Ralph Blair. Currently only 9 trucks showing on the lead lap. All those guys, they're going to have to come down pit road, as Gary Sapinski now has a rearview mirror full of John Held. John Held running on equipment just as fresh as Larry Eddy's. He keeps it pretty tight coming off that corner. That's not going to be the kind of thing that you want to do for the longevity of your car. I think he felt that was what he had to think from getting into it with Gary Sapinski. I mean, he's got a nose out ahead. But I expect he'll probably have this pass done here in the next lap or 2. Just has to get that momentum. Looks like maybe he's got a little bit of a better run through turns 3 and 4 right now than Gary Sapinski does. So he pulls just a little bit further ahead. They're going down that backstretch from there. It looks like he's clear. It's going to be close. Yep, he's got it. Gary Sapinski looks like he maybe lifted a little. Just go ahead and let the 9 go. We recognize he's faster right now. But these guys ahead of Gary don't take care of their stuff. We've seen it happen before. Gary really passed both of them back. They've got to get on their toes, and with one more green flag stop, what do you do? Lap 62 of 100. Take a look back here. Our 4th place driver, Sandy Curtis. It's only a second back from Gary Sapinski. He's running pretty good. Sandy here, very similarly aged equipment to what Gary has. He's just trying to keep up with these guys. He doesn't want to let them get too much further ahead of him. It looks like we have someone coming off of pit road. Who is that? It's not. Yep, it was the 58. Thought so. It was the 58 of Chris Hogue. Coming down, I do believe, for his last stop of the evening. We can go ahead and be able to get a lap or 2 back once these pits start cycling. Here at lap 64, I expect we're going to be seeing pits somewhere between now and lap 70. That's usually where most of these guys come down pit road. Not this time for Larry Eddy. Going long served him well the first time. I believe it serves him well this time also. That number 9 of John Held not really reeling it in. What both of these guys are doing, though, is they are pulling away from that 78 truck. He is getting further and further away. Remember, he was right up with these guys. Now a full second back from John Held, a second and a half off of Larry Eddy. So it's getting to the point The draft is going to be a difficult thing for him to maintain going through these straightaways. All the while, that 43, unfortunately, is just sliding backwards. He's sliding here into the clutches of Craig Mayer. Craig came down 24 laps ago, took a splash of fuel, so he might be able to make it from here on gas. I don't know. I'd say it's possible. That may be the move that wins the race. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on him and how much gas he's got. These guys up here towards the front. Larry Eddy, 25 since he came down pit road. John Held, 25 laps since he came down pit road. Gary Sapinski, 33 laps since he came down pit road. 31 since Sandy Curtis came down pit road. And 25 for Craig Mayer. That is your top 5. That 9 has started to fall off here behind the 4. He's not able to maintain that same speed going through the corners that Larry Eddy's got. So now the question is, Larry, you've got almost a second between you and John. You've got 2 seconds between you and Gary. When do you pit? I think you decide when the rest of the field comes down pit road. But you can't afford the guys behind you to come down pit road too early. And Gary Sapinski, first of our takers, he's bringing the 43 of Sandy Curtis with him and the 25 of Mr. Mark Berry. These are our first 3 coming down pit road. Now the 4 of Larry Eddy's got a decision to make. He cannot let Gary Sapinski be out. Not this late. He has got to react to what Gary Sapinski did. Not this lap. He opts to keep it out. Number 9 of John Held staying with him. And we have a lot of fall off at this track. These guys, 2 seconds worth of fall off so far in 28 laps between when they ran their fastest lap on that last run and now. Full 2 seconds. And wouldn't you know, that's how far behind this guy was. When he came down pit road, was 2 seconds. So the longer the 4 stays out, the more time he's going to give up to the guys behind him. But it's just these 2 really out front. The 4 of Larry Eddy, the 9 of John Held, the 3rd place car, the 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. He's back here, 5.5 seconds back on just his old equipment. So he's also going to have to come down pit road before too long. Currently only 3 cars shown on the lead lap. Larry, John, and Gary Whitmer Sr. 51 of Craig Mayer just completing his service coming off of pit road. In all this, he hadn't come down pit road yet. Paul Witt was in your lucky dog spot. I do believe he's going to be here. Nope, not quite. Gary Sapinski was able to get around him. Checking again with your leader, Larry Eddy, keeping it out here. I don't think he can make it from here. It is 27 laps left in this race. He's got 31 laps on this fuel tank. I don't think you can get 58 laps out of a tank of fuel here. If you can, Larry Eddy is the man. time getting around this course. 58 of Chris Hogue looks to go and get one of his laps back. 9 of John Held here. Holding steady at 1.1 seconds back. It was like in 3 and 4 he gets a little closer, and then looks like maybe Larry's got a little better run through 1 and 2. Here's the man both these guys should be worried about. Once Gary unlaps himself, that's it. That's all she wrote. Now that John Held moves down, let those fresher tires go by. For Larry Eddy keeping it down low. He's coming down pit road. So this will be his final stop. He just needs to come out ahead of the 78. Who is currently your who should be your second place driver. Currently showing in 3rd because he hasn't caught Larry yet. As he heads here through turns 3 and 4. That 4 truck not quite out of his pit stall yet. There he goes. I do believe he's moving. That 78 has gone by. He's going to have a full straightaway between himself and the 4 before this is over. Now Gary's got 10 laps on these tires. He's had enough time for Larry here to track him down. We shall see. Your leader is the 9 of John Held. He is keeping it out there. He saw it work for 4 earlier. He's going to see if it'll work for him. "37 laps on this run. He has 21 laps to go. Looked like the Ford, was thinking, nope, can't make this work. Came down pit road. 9 maybe was thinking the same thing. We'll see, because he is keeping it out there. He's hoping for a caution. I don't know that's necessarily going to happen. These guys, with as strung out as they are, the likelihood of that happening is pretty low. I mean, we've got some people running fairly close, but I mean, this is about as close as it gets. That is that 6 truck they're racing with. I do believe that is a 59, yes, of Ralph Blair. But these guys aren't even really racing for position. Pierce came down pit road 13 laps ago, 2 laps down. The 59 here, he came down pit road 17 laps ago. He's only 8 laps now. So they're not really racing for position. They're just kind of riding, waiting for this pit cycle to finally finish itself out. That 9 is currently holding 5/6 of the field, a lap down. Which, I mean, let's be honest, is what he needs to do. Because if he's able to get by, get one of his laps back, he's able to get the other one. Until that 9 pits. And it doesn't look like it's going to be this lap. He is keeping it up high. 37 of Doug Lockrow. Got held up behind the 9 there. 9 put it high. It's like, I'll stay out of y'all's way. I know you're on fresher equipment than me, but go ahead. Go on low. Both these guys should clear him. Not quite. 59 not able to get there. Doug is able to get by and unlap himself. That'll give us 6 cars currently on the lead lap. John Held keeping it out there. 17 laps to go. Man, he can make this work. 26 was his last time by. Strategy here is really what's getting it for me. Like, I'm not entirely certain what it is John is trying. If he's trying to make it on this tank, it'll be the first time I've ever seen someone take a tank that far at Atlanta. He's just staying out hoping for a caution. I mean, it worked for the 4. Larry Eddy and the 25 of Mark and Barry unlapped themselves. That gives us 8 trucks currently on the lead lap. So they are no longer racing for that lucky dog position. They are just trying to stay ahead of the leader and fight amongst themselves to improve their position. There's 3 of them there. Still staying out, I think, for our last ride along of the evening. We're going to go ahead and we're going to ride along with John Held. Did a race one time, me and John Held, at Nashville Super Speedway, and I think in that race I came out second. John, I do believe, was the 6th or 7th place finisher. He and I were running a very similar strategy going through the first half of that race, and we had a caution just under halfway. I came down pit road, 4 tires and fuel. He came down pit road, 4 tires and fuel. And from that halfway mark in Nashville, I was able to save 8 laps of fuel to finish that race second. John pit one time in there. And I think if the race had gone on another 10 laps, him and the group of guys he was with would have caught me and passed me. That's for sure. But he straight up asked me, how was I able to stave the 8 laps I needed to make it to the end of that race to finish where I did? And you know, I hope he's got it. 9 laps to go at the line. John, I hope you have that, because, sir, I want to ask you how you saved this much gas. 50 laps on this tank. Does he have another 8.5 in it? Man, I hope he does. I really hope he does. As we go ahead and we look back there, first car a lap down, is that no, he comes down pit road. He does not have the fuel. I hope that wasn't commentator's curse. I really don't. As he comes down pit road, this should give the lead here to the 78. right there of Gary Slapinski. He is away. He is 4 seconds ahead of second place, the 51 of Craig Mayer. Fourth place, BB 43 of Sandy Curtis, who is currently fighting for that third place. Oh, he taps the wall. That's really going to hurt his momentum. 37 to Doug Lockrow goes by on the bottom. I don't think we've seen the last of Sandy yet. He's shown already that he's got a lot of speed in that truck tonight. Doug looking like he's preferring to send it there, down low there. Sandy just trying to follow in his wake and get any kind of pull he can get. See him really close that up there going into turn one. He can maintain that going into turn three. 37 will have to worry about that 43 here before too long. Gary Slapinski, though, checked out. 4.1 seconds and growing here on the 51. Looks like the 4 of Larry Eddy. How I missed that. Sorry. 4 of Larry Eddy is currently scored in third place. Got about 9-lap pressure tires, the guys ahead of him. But I don't think, he's got a quarter of a track to make up in the next 5 laps. I don't know that he has the time for this. It was a bold strategy, and it's definitely looking like it's going to come out in his favor. Larry Eddy looking like he's going to capture a podium top 3 finish here. Craig Mayer in that 51 still pedaling as hard as he can, trying to catch Gary Slapinski. 4 seconds separates the two of them. The other thing he's trying to do is he's trying to get away from this 4. Larry Eddy is coming. Less than a second behind the 51 of Craig Mayer. Second place finish is not out of the cards for the 4. As that 51 is getting closer and closer to Larry's Toyota. Got to cut down to 0.6 of a second. Phenomenal run for both of these guys. Gary Slapinski, look, he made that perfect choice to come down pit road when he did. He was able to beat the 4 and the 9 to pit road. John Held, though, was able to avoid going a lap down. He came down pit road, only took a 5-second splash of fuel and then drove off. So he looks like he is going to finish this race probably in the 9th position. We are 2 laps to go. We'll go check in once again. Trying to negotiate that lap traffic of the 777 Michael Pegg. Michael's trying to stay out of the way, not really influence this fight. Right there up along the high side, letting these guys go by. That 4 caught the 51, so Michael lifted. Let both these guys go, let them fight it out here. White flag. This time, Larry's there. He is alongside Craig there as they go here into turn 1. Craig on that bottom is able to pull it out just a little bit. Larry got the momentum up high. Able to draw alongside, just keep it out of the wall. He does. He'll have the momentum here going down the backstretch. They fired on here into turn 3. This is going to be Craig's last chance. Looks like he does not have anything for Gary Slapinski. Comes across the field, your winners, the 4, Larry Eddy, with that bold pit strategy coming home second. 51 of Craig Mayer brings it home in third. The 37 of Doug Lockrow is able to lock up that 4th position, and the 43 of Sandy Curtis brings it home in 5th. Congratulations to all those drivers, all of our drivers tonight. Fantastic racing tonight. So we'll go ahead and we will take a second to gather up your top 3. Watch Gary Slapinski burn it down. Well, going looking for everybody. Does not appear that Larry Eddy or Craig Mayer are currently in the team speak call. So want to go ahead, take an opportunity. We'll go ahead and we'll recognize both those drivers. Craig Mayer did a fantastic job this evening. Just not enough there at the end. I mean, he came down pit road, did what he had to do when he had to do it, brought it home in third place. Larry Eddy, bold pit strategy coming down pit road so much later than the guys behind him, was able to really make that work. He was working his way back towards the front, was able to capture that second position there in turns 3 and 4. Lock up that runner-up finish. Fantastic job, Larry Eddy. I thought it was great. You had me sitting on the edge of my seat. You and John Held both wondering what you guys were doing there on that last stop, and man, it almost worked out for you. Fantastic. I love it. We'll go ahead and we'll check in here with our race winner, the 78 of Gary Slapinski. Gary, swim in the booth. You got me?
Okay, well.
It's been about a couple races since I've been able to talk to you, and here you go. You qualify second, bring it home first. How was your race tonight?
It felt really good today. I thought the truck felt really great. I was very happy with it. Absolutely very happy with it.
Well, sir, as we were noticing as the race was going on early on in the run, you seem to be able to get, everyone seemed to be able to get a lot of momentum there on the bottom. Was the truck tight tonight? It looked like everyone just sort of gravitated towards the top, after about 15 laps.
I thought some people complained it was tight. Some thought it was a little loose at the bottom. I was kind of neutral, just kind of right at the top there. Sometimes at the middle. I thought it felt really good there. I mean, that last run, that very last run, I forgot to turn off the auto fuel, so it only just gave me enough to finish the race. But when you don't put enough fuel in it, it makes it tighter. So the truck was right. That last run was a lot tighter than I would have liked it, but it was still bringing it home. Luckily, I wasn't side by side with somebody. That definitely would have had an issue because I really need the whole racetrack. So I got kind of lucky there, as far as that.
Yeah, no, and it definitely looked like even with you running with a tighter truck, it looked like you really had. I mean, it was still handling really the way you needed it. I mean, Larry was getting closer, but he wasn't getting exponentially closer. I think he probably would have needed probably another 30 laps to catch you. But no, it looked like you made that exact right pit call there from third place, able to come down pit road right exactly when you needed to leapfrog both those guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I felt like if they would have came into like maybe 1 or 2 laps, they would have came out like exactly what I mean. They probably would have had a little better race there. I know John was just trying to hoping for a caution, but Larry, I think he stayed out just a little bit too long because I really got out there, and he really a lot harder for him to make that time up on the racetrack with all the trucks out there. So I felt like that was the right call. What I did there, I was hoping they wouldn't pit, but they didn't. So I got kind of lucky there.
I want to go ahead and ask because something we were looking at, especially with the 9 of John Held. I mean, you mentioned he was hoping for a caution. That's kind of what we were thinking a little bit as well. I mean, on a full tank of fuel, how many laps can you go at this track?
Wow, I thought it was like 35 or something, maybe around there, maybe
I,
more.
I mean that is impressive because was Austin Collins in that last run? He managed to get 48 laps. I mean, but John Held was able to push not quite 50. So
I don't know
this
how
is
he did that.
I'm gonna have to.
Clutching it, I have no idea how the hell he did it.
Well, we did it right along with John, and we didn't hear any clutch, so I couldn't tell you. But I'm gonna have to catch up with that man at some point and ask him how he did it, because that is some of the most impressive fuel saving I've ever seen.
Yeah, usually I can save a lot of fuel. I wasn't really paying attention to the fuel tool, so maybe you can get a little out of it. Maybe it was in the 40s. Maybe it was 45. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think it was around there. I'm sorry. I apologize. Last time I looked, I can get like 44, 45, but I didn't feel like I could push it to get 50. that was just too much for me to try to save it.
I mean, and it definitely appeared to be the right call tonight. I mean, back in top form. I mean, you've been under the weather the last couple weeks and come back and
It's still at 100%. You can still comes out of my voice. You can still hear it. I'm still coughing. I'm not at night. It's hard to sometimes I lay down and I just cough for seems like for hours. Sometimes it wakes me up.
but you're back here, and even if you're not 100%, you are running 100% of what you need to be doing to go ahead and bring this thing home in first. Well, I mean, since you're still not quite there, we'll go ahead and we'll let you rest your voice. Don't want to take that from you. I know that you got probably some stuff you need to do this evening. So, is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Oh, I'm going to thank you. Well, you did a great job tonight. Appreciate it. I'm going to thank Lucky Dog. I'm going to thank Michael Pegg, Brian, for all the hard work he does. Website. All like fun stuff he does, the points and everything. It's never easy. He does a great job. We all appreciate it. Thank all my teammates. Thank everybody out there for watching tonight. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe for this channel. We need to grow this channel, and hopefully we can make a good channel for everybody to enjoy us out here racing almost every time, almost every night. So enjoy, people. Thank you.
Well, again, congratulations on your win, Gary. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and we hope we get to talk to you next time.
Thank you. Well, have a good night.
And I think that just about wraps us up for this evening. Obviously, we got our late model stock series tomorrow night. Same time, same channel. Our Xfinity series super speedways. That'll be on Saturday again, same time. We've got our Sunday is our day off, and then we'll be right back at it again on Monday with Gen 4 Cup cars, and you'll hear from me again on Tuesday for our Gen 6 series. We've already had a couple folks tell us they're really looking forward to that one since we're going to be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So long as what we're seeing on the schedule is accurate. I don't know. I think it is. Brian is really, really good about maintaining that schedule. So either way, I am looking forward to talking to you guys again on Tuesday. We'll take me being uncertain of the track. It's just me being me, because I will remind everybody that when we went to Michigan in the Gen 6 cars, I thought we were at Auto Club for 3/4 of that race. So it's probably just me. But again, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like the race, hit that like button, let us know. If you don't like this race, hit the dislike button and let us know. Just go ahead and hit one of those buttons down there. Leave us a comment. Call me a nasty name. It doesn't matter. We just like hearing from our viewers. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hope you had fun. And I suppose that does it. Till next time, have a good one.